Here we go. Here we go. It's like, and look who's here. Beautiful Katie. So wonderful to see you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so let's get started on time. Okay, I'm late already, but here we go. So I want to welcome you to the inaugural episode of, what is this? Tarot Talk with Minnassa, the Diva of Divination. Yes, and you see I'm wearing my crown today. I wore it on my wedding day, and I wore it when I did my initial group coaching because I feel like I'm a queen today, stepping into my giftings in new ways. And so I am so excited. And here we go. I would be remiss, and I have my little notes, I would be remiss if I did not express my gratitude to Renee of Tarot Love Community. She has invited me into this loving and wonderful filled space and has supported me, encouraged me, and then even empowered me by giving me a tour of how to go through StreamYard. I am a boomer, and I often use it as an excuse, which I am releasing, but I do need to learn things. So I'm grateful to Renee for helping me and empowering me and inviting me into this community. So I also want to say I see the live stream, and I know people like save things and click and send wrenches. I don't know how to do any of those things. So but I will get on it. I see there's little screens across here, so I will work it out. And good morning, Flowing, and get it together. So today's episode, I'm going to be on the first Saturday and the third Saturday. And that's really a healing for me because I'm the type to try to do the most, 10 of wands, just do it all. And I have to rest from that and really step into it into a way that is most beneficial for me. And so I'm grateful. So first Saturday of the month, it's going to be Tarot Talk. And we're going to talk about a tarot deck, and I may do a little training. And then after that, so my mind is 30 minutes, we'll do that. And then I'll take on readings and questions. And so again, I'll be learning how to watch the chat. And so if I miss you or I don't greet you, know that it is an error of the head and not my heart. Okay, thank you. The notification just went out. So thank you very much. And so I'm grateful for that. Any other little notes that I have? But I am grateful to be here, grateful for my little light. It's funny, I bought all this stuff for other things. And now here I am using it for this task. And so before we begin, I'll put my notes away. Let's just take a moment to be centered and focused and in this place. Let us take a deep breath in. Hold it and then exhale. Let's breathe in again and just fill up our stomach and diaphragms with air. And let it out. And then one more, please. And let it out. All right, and here we go. And so welcome again to Tarot Talk with Minnassa, the Diva of Divination. And so I thought today, let's talk about tarot. I know so many people have been introduced to divination using oracle cards, and for that, I am very grateful. And wait till I get my oracle card connection out here. This is like, wow, but today we're talking about tarot talk. And so I love the tarot. I am an earth sign. And so what I love about the tarot, it's 78 cards, 22 in the major arcana, 56 in the minor arcana, starts at 0 and ends at 21. Yeah, that's how we get 22 cards in the major arcana. And then we have the minor arcana, which are 4 suits from 1, the ace, to the king, ending with the divine masculine. And it's just very beautiful. And so I wanted to go over today, show you my decks, and then have a deck that is the spotlight. And so, of course, for me, because again, I'm very traditional, even I'm learning how to read the Lenormand cards, and I wanted to get what was the Rider-Waite version of that. What was the original version of that? And so, of course, I have here, let's try to bring it to, there we go, the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And as you can see, the top's off. This was my first deck. I used to use this deck at Z Fabrique in Long Beach, California, or Belmont Shores, because that's the hoity-toity place. And I would do my readings with that. And this deck has stayed with me all that time. So here is my own personal, the same deck. And look what's at the bottom, the Eight of Swords. It's in this bag. I have my selenite so that I can do my own readings and not mix the energy of my clients when I was doing that. Yes, it's, you know, begin at the beginning, begin with the foundation, you know, have that traditional deck. But then I found some other decks, and I want to share that are still this traditional deck at the Rider-Waite. So I have been on Duolingo, not so much lately, but wanting to learn Spanish, because as indigenous people and people of color reclaim their magic that was once, you know, demonized by the church, they are getting back into that. And Latin America and Central America right now are just blowing up with tarot and wanting to connect with that. And so I'm like, well, I got to learn Spanish so that I can tap into that market. And so I have this deck, which is, it came in this little plastic bag, which also was in another thing. And it's bilingual, so it's Spanish and English. So you can, let's see if you can see here at the top is Tres de Copas, which is the Three of Cups. And so still using the traditional, the traditional images. Tres de Copas. Let's see what else we got here. The Reina de Oros, the Queen of Pentacles. And so this deck is that same way. And so that way I can get used to the images. I'm used to the images, but I'm learning to use the words, use the Spanish deck. And so now in my beginning of wanting to get a Spanish deck and wanting to, I'm really doing my best to not give all my money to Amazon, but to support small businesses. So I went on Instagram to find me a bilingual deck or a Spanish deck, and I got this deck. Let me read it to you first. It's Tarot de El Dios de los Tres. And so just look at, I don't know if you can even see the box. It's just wild. And so what I love about it is that so it still has traditional images, but each of the minor arcana is dedicated to a different divine energy. And so we have the espadas, which is the swords. So you can see the King of Swords here, or the Rey de Espadas, and then the Queen of Swords here, or the Reina de Espadas. And so these are representing Asian, Southeast Asian religion, spirituality. The cups, so the Rey de Copas, or the King of Cups, and the Reina de Copas are representing, the Greek divine energy. The Reina de Bastos and the Rey de Bastos, the King and Queen of Wands. Here we go. I got a little light on my thing. Here we go. Represent South American or Central American religions. And then the Reina and the Rey de Oros, which is King and Queen of Pentacles. Egyptian. And so I love it. And then some of just the cards are fantastic. I'm still working on connecting with it because it's just really kind of fantastic. I don't know if my camera looks kind of weird. Here we go. Let me check my Wi-Fi. All right. And so like the La Justica or Justice card has what looks like Anubis, which would be Egyptian. El Carro or the Chariot has Wanuman. which is Hindu. And then El Juicio, or the Judgment, has Lord Ganesha, which is Hindu. And so while this is a traditional deck in that it has 78 cards, 22 major arcana, and 56 minor arcana, the images are anything but traditional. But I do love it. And so then I have just a different sets of tarot that follow that traditional. So of course, my SpiritSong Tarot. I have my, yes, the images are beautiful. I'm glad you ladies are enjoying it. I have my Halloween tarot, which I used at my Halloween party that I was the reader at. Of course, a tarot deck that everyone seems to love, and the images are beautiful, which is the Light Seers Tarot. This is a deck. I have two of them. My daughter loves getting a reading. I bought this in Sedona, Arizona, then at the Imagine Center, the Mythical Goddess Tarot. And what I love, yes, the SpiritSong deck, so good. And I'll tell you a secret, that's our featured deck for today. And what I love about the Mythical Goddess Tarot is that all the images are representing the divine feminine. So the world, you have Gaia, the crow woman representing sacred law. Oh yes, the goddess. And so they use, instead of cups, swords, pentacles, and wands, they use air, water, fire, and air. No, earth, which of course are the four elements that are represented in a traditional tarot deck anyway. Oh, hello, Suzanne. Thank you for your hugs and welcome. And so like here, the ending energy is the crone. And so in the fire, crone transmutation. The page is represented by the child consciousness. So it's child, maiden, mother, and crone. And so here you have the child of air, child consciousness. And let me get you one more. Let me see if I can find my, it wasn't my intention to open this deck, but I think it wanted to be open. And so you have like here, the high priestess, the mighty goddess Isis. Let's see if I can find my favorite lady. And then of course, indeed, here we go. The Earth of Six, which would represent Pentacles, success. So this is a very beautiful deck, and using just very empowering images, and using in the major arcana, you have Kali, Uzumi, Amaterasu, so many going across the images. Like here for the Death card, you have Kali, representing and bringing in the divine feminine energy, and it's very empowering. So let me show you the deck again. Mythical Goddess Tarot. Now this is a tarot deck that I have that was given to me as a gift from my daughter, which many of my oracle decks are also given to me. Let me see. And this is the divine, what is it? The Tarot of the Divine. So again, it has a traditional 22 cards for the major arcana, and then the 4 suits. But what is so beautiful about this card is that it's inspired, as it says by the front, by deities, folklores, and fairy tales from around the world. And so images just so beautiful. There we go, like the emperor here. Or the Two of Swords, representing an indigenous Indian story. Let me see. I wasn't going to show the decks, but it's so hard not to. let's see. Just so many glorious stories. It's hard to pick. Like the Three of Cups here again. Cooperation, but represented by this great story from the Thailand. Oh, Jamina, hey! Good to see you. Jamina is a long-time faithful client of mine, and she was in my most recent, oh, I'm sorry, now I'm giving away your HIPAA information, my most recent coaching, and I'm so glad to see her. But this is a beautiful deck involving so many stories from around the world, starting with the Fool, which has the Little Mermaid, which is a Danish story. And so this is a great deck, but again, it follows the traditional layout of the tarot deck. And as an earth sign, I love the comfort of that. You know, this is how this tarot deck is put together. And so the tarot of the divine. So now I have this. This is one of my newest tarot decks. And this is the Wildwood Tarot. And I got this tarot deck because I was wanting to do a seasonal deck. And I won a deck from at Healing Through Tarot. And if you do not follow her on Instagram and listen to her podcast, Healing THRU Tarot, Healing Through Tarot, I highly recommend. And so I wanted to have some decks that have a seasonal image. And so this deck has some winter images, but it has spring. It has all the seasons. But it's a very beautiful deck. Comes with a huge book. But you can see here, like the beautiful wren. Which is very sacred bird to the Celtic, and a big box indeed. And then I love this. So you have the Hooded Man, which is from the tarot deck. Hey, Mama Bear, welcome, which is from the 9, representing the Hermit. But what it says is that when you shine the light, even in the darkness of the winter, you see a beautiful wreath on the door, and the flow of this gown is covered with cranberries and beauty, so that even when you shine the light in the darkness, but you see very winter, very wintry. And so my wife and daughter went out to the store today. They both got dressed up. It's 30 degrees right now. It was 18 degrees. And we are in the mid-south, and we're getting that type of weather. So it's cray. But it is beautiful. And so again, this book follows the traditional tarot of 22 major arcana and the 56 minor arcana, having 4 different suits. Yes, and very earth-based indeed. So now I want to share some decks that I had that are tarot decks, but they are tarot in that they have a major arcana and minor arcana, but they don't follow the set numbers. And so this deck is a deck I used to get readings from a young lady in California, and she would also do my Reiki. And so this is, let me take this down for a minute. This is the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck. This is an awesome tarot deck. And I encourage you, if you don't use tarot traditionally, it's probably not the best deck to start with. But if you are a tarot nerd and a geek like I am, this is a beautiful deck, and I am still learning it because it's very powerful. So where a traditional tarot deck has 22 major arcana, this tarot deck has 24. So it's already gone over the numbers. And then I think even the regular suits have more than, 13. And so I wanted to just show some of the images off of this deck. And so this deck, here, let me show you again. You got goosebumps from it. Let me show you again. Dreams of Gaia. Yes, Katie girl. I was thinking about your grandmother, her healing power. This would have been a beautiful deck for her. except of course it didn't exist then. But if you are really looking to level up in your tarot work, this is an amazing deck. So this uses traditional elements. So it has fire, air, water. Yeah, flowing. I could buy them all, and I bought them all. And I wait till you see my oracle deck. That's gonna have to be like 5 series because I can't get them all on here. I barely got these tarot decks on my desk. And you know what? Thank you, all of you, for being here. I am so happy. Thank you for your support. I am grateful. I appreciate all of you. So, all right, getting all mushy. So this deck, and let me tell you about this deck. Look at this thing. So each of the aces are a dragon, and then they use the alchemy symbols. So the ace of air, let me make sure I get this right. No, this is water. See, even nice. So the upside down triangle. So the ace of water. Beautiful dragon. The ace of fire, which is right side up, triangle. The ace of air. And then the ace of, here we go, earth. These beautiful dragons, each one opening up the suits. So we talked about the crone. So these are cards that are not part of the traditional tarot deck, but are a part of this beautiful tarot deck. So we've already had people stepping into their crone magic. So here they go, the crone. Maybe we can make it closer. I'll get better at this. And here we go, the crone. I wish you could see how beautiful she is. Here what I'll do is I'll post some of these images on my Instagram. And here we go with the crone. They have a destiny card, which is also off the cover. And then, so where you would have the card 11 in a traditional tarot deck would be the pages. They have different representations. So the 11 of earth is not the page, but it's the heaven and earth card. The 11 of water, which of course would be the cups, is about emotion and intellect. And then the imagery of this card, so beautiful. I love this deck. Look at this, the king of fire. Look at just, here we go. Just all that flame, so beautiful. If you cover your face, the card is easier. Oh, thank you. Oh, here we go. Here is the Queen of Air. Thank you, Katie. And so that is a deck that it's a tarot because it has a major arcana and a minor arcana, but it doesn't follow the traditional numbering. And then I have this deck, and I don't know, this is a deck I love the Akashic, anything Akashic related. And so, but it took me forever to get this deck. My wife has this deck, my daughter has this deck, but I recently got it. And this is the Akashic Tarot. And the Akashic Tarot, instead of having 78 cards, has 64. It does have a major arcana, but the minor arcana, the cards only go up to, I think there's 8 of them, or like there's 6, and then the king and the queen. And so here we go. These are the major, here are their suits. So they have the King of Roses, the Queen of Forces, the Queen of Scrolls, and the King of Keys. So those are their 4 their minor arcana, the Scrolls, Forces, Keys, and what was the first one? Roses. And then here are some of their major arcana cards Card number 1 being the Oracle at Delphi. Pulling on some Old Testament power here, sacred text of Judaism, the Ark of the Covenant. And then here's a card, card 21, Uriel and the Sphinx. And then again, what I love about this card, the diversity. So you have the Ace of Keys here in Egypt. And so that is part of that suits, I would say mantra, but this. And then you have the Four of Forces, which are the spring and autumn. So this is also a beautiful deck and a non-traditional tarot. And then I have a friend, if you can believe it, I get a text on Messenger from the baby sister, or the younger sister of we all went to school together, but a friend that I went to high school with. And she's telling me our friend wants to get in contact with me, but she's not on Facebook. Oh, let me say that I put a Facebook, I created a Minnassa Gabon Facebook, because one of the things I realized is that on Instagram, like even Tarot Love Community, I don't see the post I wanted to weed down the energy on my Instagram page. I said that I followed 496 people at that time, which I weeded that down. I thought I see like 10, 15, if that, post. And so to be able to sort of get around that algorithm, I have a Minnassa Gabon page. I invite you to send me a friend request. And so that way it's easier for you to see what I'm doing, where I'm at, and those things. So Minnassa and then Gabon page. So anyway, so I get back to my friend. She finds me through Facebook. We connect on Instagram because we graduated in 1981, so 40 years plus from high school. And she began listening to my podcast. Now, we went to a strict Christian school. If something was fun, it was just sinful, period. Like, just period. If you had fun at it, it was sinful in some way. So that's the kind of school we grew up in. And it was just like, dag. But we got back together. I, of course, now married to a beautiful, beautiful, smart, intelligent, creative, articulate woman, and she the same. So it's like, you didn't get us with your traditionalism, but we came out late. She started listening to my podcast and told me she was hooked, which I loved it. And then for Christmas, she sent me this tarot deck. So it's non-traditional because it doesn't have 78 cards, and it's the Dog Tarot. So first I was like, what is this? Tarot is serious, and this is a dog. Okay, and I'm like, Minnassa, calm the hell down, okay? Just calm down. So this is the original Dog Tarot to divine the canine mind, to help you get in touch with your dog. And so they have so this deck, I'm not even sure. I've used it in my daily dose of Minnassa, but yeah, it's not very many because the minor arcana go up to 8, and the major arcana doesn't have all 21. And so the suits are, it's bones, biscuits, bowls, and then leashes. So this is to help you get in touch with your puppy dog. And then, of course, some very traditional things. So here is the Fool, the Moon, the Wheel of Fortune, and then my favorite tarot, and the tarot card that is my life card, which is thought, I've had a connection to this card all along and didn't know it until recently, the Magician. And on here is Nostradamus. So this is a really cute deck. And if you have a dog and you're trying to find out what's going on, this deck is really set up to help you communicate with your dog. And so those are all my tarot decks, Tarot Talk, which I know, which I love. And so today I thought for all of you fabulous people here that the tarot deck of the day is SpiritSong Tarot. And what I love about this tarot is that I'm not the most, I need a cat deck. And I actually, you know what? You are right. Because I grew up with cats. So I had to get me a kitty cat deck. And yeah, I'm not the most, I am getting better at being soft and fluffy and all that stuff. So I'm not the most animal. I don't dislike animals, but I'm just saying, like, we don't have a pet. I consider my daughter my pet. So you got to get their shots and feed them and walk them and do all that stuff. So I'm like, that's the same thing you got to do with a pet, right? So she's always been my little pet, even though we had cats and things when she was younger. But the SpiritSong deck, I love this for a gentle reading. You know, sometimes you have a client, you have a regular client, and you're going to give them, you have some information. Sometimes that spiritual guidance, you know, to become more heart-centered and to be more soul-connected and to really evolve and grow into the beneficial presence that this planet needs. Oh, you made a review video on the cat tarot. Okay, I'm going to take a look at that. You know, that what we do as gifted people is that we are here to change this planet, to evolve this planet. And so sometimes that involves some very challenging work, shadow work, inner work, releasing and disconnecting. And so that can be hard information to give at times. And so I love the SpiritSong Tarot deck because it's so gentle. I think if you just hold it, Katie, did you say you had the SpiritSong Tarot deck? And anyone else on here that has SpiritSong, let me know. It's, to me, it just has a super gentle, loving, and kind energy. And so I'm going to put some of these tarot. I got so much stuff on this table. I'm going to put some of these tarot decks. Do you feel that it has a very gentle energy? I'm going to put my little light back up here. I'm going to clear the space. I want to be able to draw some cards. Might have to hide all these decks before my wife gets home. Gets back from the store. Yeah, it is a very positive deck. It has just a very gentle energy. And so I love it for that. I love it for that. I think, you know, and involving the animal kingdom, because, you know, part of the thing is there's kind of that from traditional religion that humans are here to control everything, and that means animals. And so too bad if we fuck up the ocean and destroy the forest because we're in charge. And it's like, that we are one with them, you know, just like an Avatar, that when they, and I think even Katie explained that, you know, when the Native Americans would be tracking an animal, there was that one animal that was going to become the meal for that family, but for that tribe, and they were thankful, and they were the sacrifice, the gift, you know. So to just be, yes, gentle is so good. To connect with the animal kingdom, to remember that we are one. That we are one. We may live in different countries, but we are one. We may have different touches of melanin in our skin, but we are one. And we may be different genders, but we are one. And to remember the animal kingdom, that if we are going to support Gaia in her evolution, we've got to treat the animals like they're part of the team. And oftentimes, not just because we're humans are in charge, but also with following their lead. And so I would love to do a mini reading for everyone. So if you would put your question. And so let me give like the little spiel, like, you know, tarot cards don't replace medical advice from doctors or from a nurse practitioner or from a therapist. And I believe that these are co-creative and could be affirming and supportive. People say these are for entertainment, and you'll never see me say that. Say that tarot decks are for inspiration, motivation, and transformation, and to help you grow and connect with your spirituality. So let the mini readings commence. So if you put a question in the chat, I will pull a few cards and we'll see what does Spirit have to say. I do know that Spirit is saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. reading on my path I'm taking. Thank you. All right. So let's get your questions and I will give you a reading. I guess I've been on a lot of shows, but I haven't done any readings for anyone. And so here we go. Don't be shy. Or if you're thinking about your question, all right, I see Katie's holding the spirit song in her hand right now. It's very gentle. All right. I'm ready for your questions. So while I'm waiting for your question, I'm going to pull 3 cards and say, what is just the general energy for the weekend? All right, so the general energy for the weekend is okay, this one's just too much. Is the 5 of Feathers, the High Priestess, and then the 7 of Feathers. So, of course, not surprised to have the 5 and 7 of Feathers. Feathers represent the air sign, and we are still under the magical power of the Aquarius. My crazy Aquarius, I love them. And so this is about being expansive, thinking outside the box, tapping into our creativity, being willing to even be a bit eccentric so that you're not moving and grooving the way that the world is. I think of my Aquarius as people who have unplugged so many aspects of themselves from mass consciousness, and they're able to move to the beat of their own drum. And so beginning with the 5 of Feathers, strategy and resilience, that this is a great time, so Mercury went direct yesterday or on the 3rd, and so all planets are direct. Oh, my crazy Aquarius, Katie, I'm just falling in love with you more and more. Every time you keep saying stuff, I'm falling more and more in love with you. Let me know where you are, because I'm in Tennessee, and I thought that you were also in the Mid-South, but angel guide message, please. Thank you. So can I give you an angel guide message using my spirit song deck? I just want to make sure. So that this is the time that whatever you want to do, whatever you want to begin, all planets are direct. Support is there. The empowerment is there. And let's move forward. So get your strategy and resilience. One of the things I had to learn is I would get inspired and then I would move forward. No, I got to make that strategy. I got to make that plan. And how do we do that? Again, using this beautiful High Priestess card, the links. And this is about intuition and sacred knowledge. So what are you wanting to create using this beautiful energy of all planets direct? It's about connecting internal. That one of the things I had to restructure myself is that last year I was so busy looking at what everyone else was doing on Instagram and on their Facebook page. I got to do this and I got to do that. And it wasn't working because I have to connect and create and be strategic from where my spirit is calling me. And that's that energy for us as light workers, as people who are energy creators and light manifestors. Tucson, Arizona, so beautiful. I love that state. Gail and I almost moved to Phoenix, and then we came this way. But this is that time. How can you shine your light brightest? How can you live big? How can you serve in a way that is transformative and beneficial for this planet? You got to strategize and do that by connecting with your divine feminine and then sacred knowledge. Maybe use a tarot deck or an oracle deck that you don't usually go to, because we all have our favorite decks. Or get a reading from someone that you know is safe and trustworthy, right? But not your regular person. Reach out, get that information, and then 7 of Feathers. So preparation and resourcefulness. Again, when you set that strategy and you open that door and you open your heart, be prepared to receive it. And so that's our energy for this weekend, using the air energy of this crazy Aquarius and connecting it with the divine. So air and cups, so that you can begin to create, dream big, step outside your comfort zone to bring your love and light into this time of all planets direct. All right, Suzanne, what are the angel messages? Yes, my favorite angel, Archangel Zadkiel, who's an angel of transformation, came and touched the tarot deck, sent his energy to this deck. And so we are ready. So your angel reading or your angel energy readings have I've got to get that one too. Is the Ace of Acorns. And so this is creative force and confidence. And then the Moon, which is imagination and perception. And then the Eight of Crystals, which is dedication and progress. And so this is a very sweet message from your angels, of course, coming from a sweet, sweet deck of cards. And so, Suzanne, that this is the time. This is the time. Use that creative force. What they're showing me is that you have a vision that's connected to your passions. It's about serving and moving in the world in a new way, to be a real force for change and upliftment. But it's newer, it's different, and they're wanting you to have confidence in that. And the Eight of Crystals, you have worked so hard on this, and your dedication to that. You are making progress. And so now is the time to begin to bring that forward. And of course, the Moon, using your intuition. That gift you have is transformative. It's powerful. And when you connect it to your passion, and the feeling I get that it's not something very tarot related or even spiritual related, but it's something that's in your heart. Your spiritual gifts are not the opposite of that or different from that. Your spiritual gifts will empower and support you as you take that next step. So continue. You've laid the groundwork. You've been dedicated to it. And now bring it forward so that those who are ready to be served, those who have contracts with you. And yes, I see a beautiful angel with its wings open surrounding you, saying you are supported and the energy to go forward is with you. So move forward, my dear, and let the hard work that you have done come to fruition. All right, so can I have a card for Mama Bear? And may I have a card for 2022 since your birthday was on the 3rd? All right. And Suzanne, I hope that message resonated with you. Let's pull a card for Mama Bear. I have to make sure I'm following you on YouTube. And Jamina, if you're still here, you know I want to do a reading for you. So please, let's get your question. Floyd, I haven't seen your question. All right, so for Mama Bear, this beautiful card. Here we go. Which is the King of Shells. So this is already calling you harmony and integration. So you know that divine masculine or the king at the end of the tarot deck, this is asking you to step into your flow using the gifts of the divine masculine. So you are very easily connected to that divine feminine. But that divine feminine is about creating, it's about enhancing, it's about nurturing, but it's time to bring that forward using the gifts of the divine masculine. So divine masculine is like that Capricorn. Get your spreadsheet together or get your goals, write it down. I know that for many people say, well, I want to be in the flow and I want to be with spirit, but it doesn't mean you can't write things down. It doesn't mean that you can't be about your business. And so this is asking you to level up in your emotional work, to level up in your flow, to level up in your spirituality and put a plan in place so that you can again reap the benefits of the work that you're doing. I just see like a real internal work showing that on the inside. There's just a light glowing and glowing. So now plan how you want that light. What areas in your life are you ready to have to shine in and to have the light of the divine shine on? Harmony and integration. Bring it together. They're not opposites, right? All that you have within you, that king of shells, your emotion, that divine masculine, that creative, that left and right brain, that's just something humans made. It's your brain. Bring that creative and constructive, that artsy fartsy and plan. That's you, baby. That's you. Live it together in harmony, integrate it, and then move forward with it. All right, let me know if that resonates. All right. Thank you, sweet Suzanne. All right, Katie, may I have a card for my 2022? Since my birthday was on the 3rd. Well, since your birthday was on the 3rd, I'm going to pull 3 cards. Because, of course, we got to get in that Aquarian energy and step outside. All right, Floyd, a reading on the path that I'm taking. I'm sorry. I got you. All right, so here's our 3 cards. Oh. So 3 cards for 2022. Wow. So your first card is the Shaman, divine wisdom and spiritual power. Your next card, 3 of shells, playfulness and bliss. And then your second card, the High Priestess, intuition and sacred knowledge. Thank you, Mama Bear. So of course for you, what is 2022 about? Bringing it, bringing that power, the Shaman and the High Priestess, stepping in to your power this year in a new way, and especially that in a playful way. That's what I love about this page, is that I'm very serious and all my other things, and I'm serious. Being a gift for spirit, you can't just be like, right? But this 2022, my sweet Katie, is the year to be playful with your gifts. It's the year to use them to be your muse. Just like you were dancing, you said, oh, my back had been hurting me. I see you've been asking for prayer requests, but on your birthday, you was moving and grooving and shaking, and bring more of that dancing. This is your year for fun and for joy, and using both that sacred connection. You said your granny, coming all the way from your granny, and using your intuition, that high priestess, stepping into your wholeness, but enjoy. I see that they're saying what you think you have planned for 2022, Spirit is getting ready to expand it and grow. And the way for you to step into that is with joy and with fun, because you are getting ready to blow up. And I'm going to be able to say, oh, I knew her when she was at the beginning. Oh, yeah, because you're getting ready to blow up, girl. All right. And so I need to just take a minute to look at what Floyd asked me. I got so excited. I get so excited doing the reading on my path that you're taking. All right, here we go. All right. I want to thank you all again for your support. I'm excited. So I will tell you that on the 3rd Saturday, I'm going to have a guest. And my guest, my very first guest, is Celeste from Astrology by Celeste. And so I'll ask her if she's also an intuitive. If you don't follow her, she's on Instagram. Celeste. Oh, you're welcome, my sweet. You, Astrology by Celeste. She is on Instagram. She's probably on Facebook. I'm taking a class with her tomorrow, and she will come. So she says all this stuff like this, conjunct this, and then trine, and then square, and then it's like, whoo, I don't know what you said, but okay. When she talked about all the planets being direct, I had that on my calendar. And so she is a beautiful, beautiful woman. And she will come, and I'll ask her if she can do some readings. And maybe if you know your birth time, or you know your 3 moon, sun, and rising, she can give you some quick things. But I am going to ask her to talk about astrology and tarot. Oh my God. Okay. I got so excited talking about my guest. Okay, Flo, and I feel like I'm like reading on my path. that I'm taking because I want to be, what is the reading on her path? So yeah, she will be my guest on the third Saturday. And then some of you will begin to be my guest on this show. I want to tap into your awesomeness. All right, so your cards, Sweet Flowing, is 7 of Crystals, Options and Results. We have the little aardvark here. The Queen of Feathers, this gorgeous bat. And this is Perception and Truth. And then the 6 of Shells, which is Sentiment and Joy. And so 7 of Crystals, very common with the 7 of Pentacles. You know, that's the person that is working. And so where you're on your path is keep working, keep going forward, keep working. That yes, there may be a feeling that nothing's blossoming or is this stuff working? And I'm like, yes, keep going. And that the 7s are always about choices. And so continue to make that choice that is for your abundance, that is for your good. That if it's like, it's not for you. If it's like, it's for you. And continue on that path. Continue on that path. Keep going. The results are coming. It's like you wouldn't plant some seeds and then go out the next day and say, oh, did they turn into something? And I know that it feels like for you, it's been more than the next day, but you're on the right path. Keep choosing abundance. Keep choosing expansion. Keep choosing prosperity. Keep choosing big. And then that Queen of Feathers. So, I think the Divine Feminine has had her hand all throughout everyone's reading. Everyone's got something like the High Priestess or even the King of Shells, because the water, of course, is that flow and that Divine Feminine. And so this is about looking at your perception to be aware that you're not in a place where you're allowing what other people consider to be success to be what you consider to be success. You're on the right path. You say, well, by this age, you should have had that. Or you see other tarot people saying, oh my God, every weekend I don't get any sleep because I'm doing 5,000 readings. Say, well, I'm not, okay. Change your perception. The Hangman, look at things in a new way. If you're connecting with decks in a new way, you're getting a part of a bigger community and you are choosing yes to yourself, you're on the right path. Those steps make room for expansion in your business, make room for expansion in your relationships, make room for expansion in your self-love and your self-care. And then the 6 of Shells, so the 6 of Cups, to think about the good times. I think so many of us, we get caught in the doing and I need to do this, I got to be on Instagram and I need to be on YouTube. But remember the fun times. Remember when it was good. Remember when it was fresh, and let that be the energy. So when you feel like this stuff's not working, am I going the right way? Say, yes, I remember the joy of beginning this journey. And I remember how good it felt to connect with that aspect of myself and to bring that back, to continue to connect with that, to be in that place. You are on the right track. Continue choosing abundance, continue choosing prosperity, continue choosing to live large, to shine your light, and let that intuition, Divine Feminine, is all up in these readings today. And then when you feel stagnated, when you feel like, is this ever going to work? Remember, think back to how good it felt to begin that journey. Well, I cannot believe it. This hour has gone by so fast. Does anyone else have a question or want any information? With that, I do again want to thank you. Send my love to Renee from Tarot Love Community for opening, encouraging me, showing me how, giving me a tutorial to bring my gifts to this space. Thank you to whoever did StreamYard and YouTube. What a different world it is. What a different world it is. Oh, Flowing, thank you so much. What a different world it is to be able to have these gifts where now, the light workers, we are able to come out into the light and to shine our light and show here we are. And so grateful for YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, that in the midst of all their other issues, they have given a platform for us to be able to shine our light, be able to show the world that we are instruments of the divine and we are here to bring love and light. And so I am so grateful for that, and so grateful that wherever you are in this nation or the world, that I'm able to send my love to you, to thank you. Hey, Layla, and to bless you all. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So I'll see you again on the 3rd Saturday, same time, 11 a.m. Central Time. My guest will be Celeste from Astrology by Celeste. Please send me a friend request on Facebook for Minnassa Gabon, so that way I'm not missing you. Like, I didn't see anything from Tarot Love Community yesterday. And so I want to make sure that we're able to stay connected. I love you all. I'm thankful for you all. Blessings. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend.